If we keep on track, we won't be talking about masks versus no masks. We will be talking about closing schools. And the risk of closing schools is greater than any face covering could ever be for any student.
Well, Central Texas' third largest school district continues the debate over masks. Leander ISD's Board of Trustees met until late last night, ultimately voting to approve a resolution to continue requiring masks in schools.
CBS Austin's Emily Chavez is live at Leander High School, where the mask debate is far from over. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Allison. Leander ISD's Board of Trustees will revisit the mask mandate on September 9th, and if it is not extended by the board that night, it will expire at midnight. Board members approved the resolution in a 5-2 vote and unanimously approved 8 days of coronavirus leave for staff members who test positive for the virus. Right now, the district's coronavirus website shows there are 132 positive cases this week. The most cases are at Baghdad Elementary School and Wiley Middle School, with 8 cases. Last night's board meeting had parents for and opposed to the mandate. One father says he will not have the board determine what is healthy for his child.
The Constitution and our rights are not suspended during a pandemic. We have rights as citizens of this country. And it's ridiculous that you as a school board think that you can mandate what we do with our bodies.
Superintendent Bruce Gearing's original temporary mask requirement included an option for parents to opt out for their children. As of last Wednesday, more than 3,000 students had opted out. And since August 5th, there has been a total of 383 positive reported COVID-19 cases in the district, according to the district's coronavirus dashboard. Emily Chavez, CBS Austin News.
Several Texas school districts are implementing a mask policy for students and staff, but some school districts are not. CISD says they will not enforce a mask mandate after hearing from several parents at tonight's board meeting.
I'm just very concerned because of the situation with the ICUs in Austin reaching record highs and pediatric ICUs filling up.
With several parents wearing green to show their support for a mask mandate, parents in opposition wore blue.
I think what it comes down to at the end of the day is that we need to have the right to choose. As parents, we know what is best for our children.
The CISD superintendent says about 85% of students and staff on average district-wide are wearing masks, similar to what districts who are enforcing a mask policy are seeing. But some parents still want to see the district take action.
There's been enough legal precedents to demonstrate fighting for our children is not a losing battle. And even if it was, it would still be worth fighting, because the data about this virus and the effectiveness of properly implemented prevention do not change.
Students also spoke at tonight's meeting before the board made the announcement to keep masks optional.
You do not call the shots. You do not have authority over us. You are not going to tell us what to do, and it is absolutely not your business to know what our personal medical information is.
The school district is waiting for a decision by the Texas Supreme Court. Once a decision is made, they may reevaluate their policy. Reporting live, Lindsay Regas, CBS Austin News.
Several groups rallied to support masks in school today. Parents continue to push school boards to implement mask mandates. Several schools across our area already have requirements in place despite Governor Greg Abbott's orders. CBS Austin's Ricardo Lewis is live tonight. Ricardo, parents continue to ask the governor to reverse his decision.
Walt, these rallies today want to see masks required in all schools until a vaccine is authorized for students under 12. At Leander ISD and outside of the governor's mansion, parents and children protested, calling for additional COVID safety guidelines.
Hey, Governor! Hey, how many kids have you killed today?
Outside of the governor's mansion on Monday, about a dozen parents gathered to protest Governor Abbott's statewide mask mandate ban.
I don't want to be that parent that says that I didn't do enough to protect our children.
Mothers Against Greg Abbott is an organization formed by Nancy Thompson, a mother of 3 who is worried about the health of her children in public school.
It is very important for me to see these kids grow up and to see them fulfill all of their dreams.
She says the protest will continue until the governor changes his mind and allows school districts to require masks.
They have struggled, and it was to protect adults. And now that adults have the opportunity to be protected, they're moving on, and children are still vulnerable.
Just a few miles away at Leander ISD, a temporary mask mandate is in place, but students can still opt out. 5th grader Jacob Charles worries for his classmates.
If everyone wears masks, then we can stay in class and see our friends. We can help prevent the spread of COVID and protect our teachers and friends.
Celeste Knight has been a nurse for more than 20 years. During the first surge, when New York City was the epicenter of the virus, she lost her husband.
While he did not die of COVID, his death was a direct consequence of a hospital system so hopelessly overwhelmed it was brought down to its knees.
She says when hospitals fill up, resources run thin. So to stop the pandemic, she stands with the parents pushing for masks to be required in schools.
I have witnessed the terrified face of a 7-year-old fighting for his next breath just minutes before a metal blade is inserted into his throat.
Now, the governor has maintained that personal responsibility, not requirements, should protect families. Last week, the TEA said they would not be enforcing his ban while several lawsuits are worked out in courts. Live in the newsroom, Ricardo Lewis, CBS Austin News.